Hello, everyone. We're going to be doing the week 3 after tarot spread. Again, this is optional. You do not need to do it, but it does add depth to the experience. And again, please remember that there is the optional tarot guidebook included. I should be saying that in the beginning of all of these, but I keep forgetting. So please remember, if you're not as familiar with tarot, there is the guidebook that's included from a blueprint perspective. Okay, so we are Module 6, 000, bottom of the page. After week 3 spread, rebuilding from the ashes. So this is after you've completed work 3. This spread helps you recognize what has shifted since walking through the descent. It shows how awareness has softened resistance and how meaning has replaced confusion. This is where you measure not by perfection, but by presence. How willing you are to stand in what is real without needing to escape it. You begin to see that the descent was never punishment, it was the pathway home. So the truth revealed is going to be pile number 1. I'm going to continue to do it in the format where I shuffle before, and I set the intention to do this spread to be led through. If you're having difficulty understanding how that works from a blueprint perspective, think of it like I'm agreeing to trust the flow of energy that I'm being led to see. Because sometimes you'll want to pull 3 cards, and that'll make, obviously, things a little differently than if you would have only pulled 2. So trusting the flow of the energy through it. And I just turned off the light as I was saying that. So it's like trusting yourself to see with your third eye in the darkness of your physical eyes. When your eyes can't figure it out, your third eye can, that kind of thing. Okay. So what illusion or false belief lost its power as I faced the fall with open eyes? Going right into it. What illusion or false belief lost its power as I faced the fall with open eyes? That I wasn't ready to truly face the abandonment wound. Or in this case, this would be, this too shall pass in regard to matters around wounding and family. So whether that's abandonment, whether that's loss of identity, whether that's disassociation, whatever it is, it's like, what illusion or false belief lost its power? The belief that you can't face it. Because you gave your subconscious different proof of you facing it better than you did last time. So now when it comes up, your subconscious is going to say, oh, remember that recent time that it wasn't quite as hard as the time before that? So if I keep feeding my subconscious this same pattern, it's not only learning the new experience, but it's also learning, okay, we tried and it got better. We tried again and it got better again. So not only do I have a new experience to reference, a positive one, but I also have a pattern to trace that shows me that things are going to continue to get better if I continue to show up and try. Okay, so the integration. What part of me has rejoined my awareness now that I've stopped running from what happened? King of Pentacles and 8 of Swords in reverse. What part of me has rejoined my awareness? So value, seeing yourself as someone who holds value, because 8 of Swords in reverse is a release from a restriction. A release from a previous limitation, especially in terms of the mind, swords. So the part that's rejoined awareness is the belief that something is possible, to take a seed, the Ace of Pentacles, and see it all the way through to the end, the King of Pentacles. You might not be there yet, but you're building the proof that it's possible. And that's all that matters right now. So what part has rejoined the awareness? The subconscious is remembering previous examples that prove that change is possible and sustainable. Those parts are coming back online. The foundation. What new way of living or perceiving is beginning to take root inside of me? Seven of Wands and Seven of Swords, both reversed. Putting down defenses, not expecting things to go wrong. What new way of living or perceiving when your subconscious suddenly is like, oh, wait, something good happened. Now I have a new topic to reference, a new experience to reference. Oh, wait, now I also have a pattern because I try and things go forward. I try, and even if I don't succeed in the way I thought, I'm still going forward. I'm learning a new pattern. I'm learning a new experience. So what new way of living or perceiving is beginning to take root? The one in this instance of this reading where you're not just anticipating failure. Your subconscious isn't like, oh, let's wait for the shoe to drop. It's coming. Your subconscious is instead saying, wait, the pattern shows that we're going in a positive direction. So the shoe's not going to drop. The stress is. So now the embodiment. How can I continue to honor the lessons of dissension through my daily choices and interactions? Death and Knight of Cups in reverse. Ending any patterns that... Ending any patterns that are prone to avoidance when emotions around certain topics, in this case, family, gets brought up. So how can I continue to honor the lessons, continue to allow for feeling instead of suppression, or feeling instead of busybodying away from the feelings, because now the psyche has proof that those can be handled and managed better than they could in the past. The emergence. What quality of energy, peace, trust, strength, humility now feels like the ground I stand on? Two of Cups in reverse, Two of Swords in reverse. A lot of doubles here. 2 and 2. We had 7 and 7. My birthday's 27. Anywho, what quality of energy feels like the ground I stand on? Disconnecting from indecision. So being able to say, I can make this choice from a grounded perspective and not a perspective of simply running away from a wound because my subconscious is telling me I can't face it, because now I know I can. So now I'm not running from it. So what quality of energy feels like the ground I stand on? I would say decisiveness. Grounded decisiveness is what I would say. And the optional reflection prompt. This week I learned that what broke me was never my undoing. It was how I became whole. Spicy. Queen of Swords and Queen of Pentacles. I mean, this is the decision from the Two of Swords. And then this is the King of Pentacles in reverse, the embodiment of that worth and value. So it's like, this week I learned that what broke me was never my undoing. It was how I became whole, because in the breaking, I came face to face with the parts of myself that I would have avoided if I wasn't willing to break in order to face them. Because the breaking was simply the allowance of feeling so that space could be made for my subconscious to have a different experience to reference. So in the past, let's just say, for example, with the 10 of Cups, family. In the past, family meant pain, meant abandonment, meant confusion, led to indecisiveness, led to lack of grounding. But in facing that wound and coming face to face with the self, I learned decision making from a grounded perspective in a way that I couldn't if I didn't come face to face with the self over this wound or because of this wound. So that is the end of that spread. So that now we have the beginning and the end spread for week 3. I will see you in the next one.